Very good morning, students. I hope you all are well at your home. So, in our previous video, I have finished chapter 1. Today, we are going to start chapter 2 of your chemistry, and that is physical and chemical changes. In this chapter, mainly we will focus about the characteristics and properties of physical and chemical changes. But before we move to physical and chemical changes, first we have to study about changes and what type of changes are there and in which category physical and chemical changes come. So, highlights of today's topics are that introduction first, that what are changes and how many total types of changes are there. So, first, let me tell you what is a change. We all must have noticed that changes happen everywhere and at all times around us. For example, melting of ice, rotting of vegetables, dissolving of salt or sugar in water, ripening of fruits, rusting of iron, withering of leaves, and etc. All these changes involve a change in the properties of a substance, and as a result, substances show a change in their size, shape, state, position, color, composition, etc. So, thus we can define change as conversion of any substance from one form to another. In your class 7, you have already learned about different types of changes. So, in this chapter, we will only revise that changes. So, what type of changes are around us on the basis of their properties? So, changes around us on the basis of use, on the basis of their reversibility, on the basis of speed, on the basis of energy, and on the basis of time interval. So, changes which are based on their use are desirable changes and undesirable changes. Changes which are based on their reversibility, that are reversible changes and irreversible changes. Changes that are based on speed are fast changes and slow changes. Changes which are based on energy are exothermic changes and endothermic changes. And changes which are based on time interval are periodic changes and non-periodic changes. Now I will give you a brief description about all these type of changes. First, natural and artificial changes. So, as the name implies, natural and artificial changes that occur in nature are known as natural changes, and changes that are made to happen or caused by human activities are known as artificial changes. Examples of natural changes are growth of a plant or a baby, ripening of a fruit, change in seasons, change of day into night, rotation and revolution of earth, formation of fossil fuels, and occurrence of eclipses and natural disasters like earthquakes, storms, and floods. As I've given you some pictures here, the growth of a plant is a natural change in which the plant grows naturally. Revolution of earth around the sun is also a natural change. The natural disasters which occur in nature, they are also the examples of natural changes. Then changes that are man-made are called artificial changes, which are made to happen or caused by human activities. Examples of artificial changes are making of a pot from clay, a desk from fibers, a furniture from wood, cooking of food, construction of buildings and dams, etc. So, this is all about natural and artificial changes. Next is fast and slow changes. Now, these changes are the changes which occur on the basis of their speed, that the change is occurring either frequently or taking a couple of time to happen. So, changes that take place in a very short period of time are known as fast changes. These changes occur spontaneously and the products are obtained almost immediately. Examples of fast changes are burning of matchsticks, paper turning into ash when it is burned, occurrence of landslides, breaking of glass mirrors, bursting of firecrackers, and lightning during a thunderstorm. You have noticed that These kind of changes occurs very frequently, and that's why on depending on the time which they have taken to occur, they are called as fast changes. Now, changes that take place over a long period of time are known as slow changes. These changes may take hours, days, weeks, months, or maybe years also to occur. Examples of slow changes are growth of a baby into an adult. You can see that this change is natural as well as time taking also. So this example can be taken in natural change and in slow change as well. Formation of fossil fuels, germination of seeds, rusting of iron, growth of fingernails, and decay of dead plants. These all are slow changes. The next type of changes are reversible and irreversible changes. This type of change you have studied in your class 6th also, 7th also, that the change that can be reversed, that can be get back to its original substance by changing the condition that brought the change, that type of changes are called reversible change. The so many examples of reversible changes are there. Some of few examples are here in the slide. When a chocolate is warmed, it melts and turns into a liquid or a semi-liquid form. But when its temperature goes down and we freeze it again, it turns into a solid. So this is a reversible change. On heating, the chocolate melts and changes into the liquid form, and when it again bring back to the previous temperature on which it was, it get converted into a solid. So this is a reversible change. Orange juice can be frozen to form a solid icy pole, and when it melts it become liquid again. So we can make our orange juice into an ice cream, and when it get melt again it becomes into a liquid form. Candle wax, it can be converted again into the solid wax once its temperature is decreased. So this kind of changes are called reversible changes. In such changes, there might be change in the look and feel of the substance, but you have noticed that in reversible changes, no new substance will be formed. The properties of the substance do not change, and these changes are temporary changes. Now, irreversible changes. Irreversible changes are just vice versa of reversible changes. Irreversible changes cannot be reversed. That is, we cannot get back the original substance by changing the conditions that brought about the change. And such changes are called irreversible changes. In these irreversible changes, new substances are formed after the change. Thus, the property of substance change and the change is permanent. Irreversible changes are called temporary changes and reversible changes are called temporary changes and irreversible changes are called permanent changes. Why? Because in reversible changes substance get back to its original form, but in irreversible changes always new substances are formed. For example, baking a cake. Once we bake a cake, we cannot convert it again into the batter. Metal rusting. Once rust form on the iron, that iron cannot be converted back, that corrosion cannot be taken back. Once we fry an egg, that egg cannot be converted into a raw egg. Burning of paper. Once the paper is burned and it converted into ash as a product and forms smoke, that paper again cannot be converted into the original form. So this kind of changes in which new substances are formed and that cannot get back to its original form, that changes are called irreversible changes. Now, the changes which are based on time, that is periodic and non-periodic changes. So the changes, as we have studied in physics and in chemistry about periodic and non-periodic motion, in that we have studied that the changes, the motion which take interval at a particular time interval, that are called periodic and non-periodic, which have a fixed time period. We can understand it from the name itself that which have a particular time period is called periodic and which do not have a particular time period, it is called as non-periodic. So changes that repeat after a fixed interval of time are known as periodic changes. Example of periodic changes are changes seasons, phases of the moon, cycle of day and night, rotation of revolution of earth, movements of the hands of a clock, and our heartbeat. So this all are periodic changes because they have fixed time interval to occur. After a fixed time span, they occur at a particular time. All the four seasons have their month specified that this season will last for this month and all. Then revolution of earth, there is a fixed time period for the revolution of earth around the sun. The occurrence of day and night, in that also fixed time period is there. The clock, which is the clock which shows us time, it also have in that the movements of hands of clock also have a particular time period which make minutes and seconds. So this kind of changes are periodic changes. Then non-periodic changes, the changes that do not repeat after a fixed interval of time and can occur any time are known as non-periodic changes. Examples of non-periodic changes are occurrence of cyclones, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, accidents, and rain showers and sneezing. So these examples are the examples of non-periodic changes in which there is no fixed time interval. Natural disasters can occur at any time. Earthquakes can occur at any time. So all these changes do not require any fixed time interval to occur. So this kind of changes are called non-periodic changes. Then the changes on the basis of energy release or energy absorption are called endothermic and exothermic changes. So in changes in which there is release of energy in the form of heat, that changes are known as exothermic changes. Example of exothermic changes are burning of fuels, bursting of crackers, condensation of water vapor, and freezing of water to form ice cube. In all these changes, the substance in which the change is occurring will release heat energy. As if we will convert if we will convert water into ice, you can see that when it will be freezed, it will release the amount of heat which is contained in it, and its temperature get lower down. And when its temperature get lower down after releasing the amount of heat energy that is contained in it, it will be converted into solid form or it will be freezed. So the changes in which the heat energy is released and temperature is decreased, that type of change is called exothermic change. The next is endothermic change. The changes in which there is absorption of energy in the form of heat are known as endothermic changes. Example of endothermic changes are photosynthesis in green plants, cooking of food, evaporation of water, and melting of ice cube. Now, when we melt that ice cube again, we have to raise its temperature. And how we can raise the temperature? We can raise the temperature by providing heat to it. Once the heat will be provided, it will absorb heat energy and its temperature will be increased and it again get back to the liquid form. So in this reaction you can see that the ice has absorbed the heat energy when it has to melt, and when it is freezed it released heat energy. So this type of change in which the ice absorb heat energy and come back to liquid form, this is called endothermic change. Now dissolving salt in water, water evaporation, cooking an egg, baking bread, photosynthesis, etc. are the examples of endothermic changes. Now on the basis of use, the changes which are classified on the basis of their use, that how useful they are for human beings and how unuseful they are for human beings. The changes are desirable changes and undesirable changes. So, the changes which are useful to us are known as desirable changes, and the changes which are harmful to us are known as undesirable changes. Examples of desirable changes are fermentation of grape juice into wine, formation of curd from milk, cooking of food, ripening of fruits, and blooming of flowers. These all kind of changes are useful for us and are called as desirable changes. Now, changes that are harmful to us are called undesirable changes, or we can say that changes which are not useful for us, human beings, are known as undesirable changes. Examples of undesirable changes are spoilage of food, occurrence of earthquakes, storms and floods, rotting of fruits and vegetables, soil erosion, rusting of iron, etc. So these kind of changes are undesirable changes. Now, there are some changes which can be desirable at one time or undesirable at another time based on the situation in which it occurs. So, few of the examples of such types of changes which are desirable at once but after some time it will become undesirable for us. That is, rain is desirable as it fills up seas, rivers, and lakes. But if the same rain occurs in excess and causes floods, it results in loss of both property and life. So, if there is proper amount of rainfall which is required by us, if it is that much only, then it will come under desirable change. But once it overflows and there is a more amount of rain, then that rain can become undesirable for us because it results in the harms of human lives. The next is cutting down of trees for industrialization is desirable as it provides employment to many people. But at the same time, forests are lost, which leads to rise in carbon dioxide levels, and thus global warming is caused by it. So, cutting off trees to maintain the ecosystem, till that time it is good and it is desirable for us. But if that cutting down will reach to deforestation and loss of forest in the on the earth, then that cutting off trees can become undesirable for us and it will cause the increase in global warming level. Then burning of fossil fuels releases energy that is used in many ways. But along with energy, carbon monoxide, along with energy, poisonous gases like carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide are released that lead to air pollution which is undesirable. So these are some changes which can be desirable to us at once and undesirable at the other time. So these are all the type of changes which we have to study before we study chemical and physical changes, because all the mixture of these changes are classified under physical and chemical changes. So physical and chemical changes we will study in our next class. Till then, read about this kind of changes and the detailed description about physical and chemical changes, their characteristics, their properties. All those we will study in our next class. Thank you and have a nice day.